back in 2010, there was a bit of a movement, shall we say, to dislike Justin Bieber's hit single, Baby. I remember as a 12-year-old hater of Justin Bieber, for very good reason, that I disliked this video about 10 times. I had about 10 accounts back in the day, you could say I was really cool. And the dislikes on this video reached such heights that in the 8 years since its release, not one video even got half of the monumental number it hit. And not for a lack of trying either. Need I remind you of Rebecca Black's Friday, or Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, or It's Every Day, Bro? There have been dark times in the last 8 years. And then, in just under a week of YouTube Rewind 2018's release, it not only surpassed Baby, but became the first ever YouTube video to cross 10 million dislikes in a week. And to be honest, it's tallying up so many dislikes, we could be in for another 8 years of no video coming close to being the most disliked video. Obviously, I can't predict the future of what videos could even come out that could possibly overtake it, but YouTube Rewind 2019 will be out in about a year, and given the current direction they're going in, this record could just keep getting broken year after year after year. Unless YouTube learns from their mistakes, which may sound like an impossible task, but I don't think it is, which is why I've made an entire video on this topic. Now, the chances are I'm already too late for this trend. There were already plenty of videos complaining about the rewind even by the time I got to watching it, which was literally only like 4 hours after it came out. But you know, quality over quantity, right? So I've watched through a few of these videos to make sure I don't make any points that have been made like 100 times already. And well, the first point of discussion I really want to bring up is, what's the point of YouTube Rewind? Because a lot of YouTubers have tackled this question and I completely disagree with them. Oh, it's getting all these dislikes because PewDiePie, Shane, KSI weren't in it, but of course they weren't going to include them because they made this video for advertisers to show them who they're representing on this platform. Except I disagree with this because the video clearly wasn't made with advertisers as the target demographic. At the time of recording, YouTube Rewind has in excess of 120 million views and growing fast. And trust me, there aren't 120 million companies putting ads on YouTube. But I'm not an expert when it comes to advertising, but I imagine the amount of companies putting ads on YouTube is closer to the tens of thousands. Meaning, according to this logic, this video is being intentionally promoted towards 120 million people outside of the target demographic. For what? The fun of it? This video clearly hasn't been made purely for advertisers, and I know this because YouTube has an entire channel dedicated to making videos purely for advertisers. And well, their trailer video is called Brandcast 2018 Brand and Agency Leaders Drive Results with YouTube, where they have heads of media and advertising at major companies talking about why they put their ads on YouTube on a video that accumulated 96,000 views. Which means this video you probably haven't seen was targeted to around tens of thousands of people, and I'm no mathematician, but I imagine the amount of companies putting ads on YouTube is closer to the tens of thousands. However, I also don't think this video was made for fans of PewDiePie, Shane, David Dobrik, or whatever creator you like that wasn't included. Because them not being included isn't gonna make you stop watching them, so YouTube probably don't care. Sorry, I buttered that up. They definitely don't care. YouTube know that both these audiences, being advertisers and members of the YouTube community, will watch the video, and realistically, yeah, it's a lose-lose situation for them. But at the end of the day, I think it's so clear that YouTube Rewind is made for people who don't watch YouTube all that much. It's an advert with YouTube basically saying, look at these interesting people we have on our platform, you should maybe consider watching them. Of course they're going to put forward their safest creators because in YouTube's perfect world, that's who everyone would watch. YouTube spend tons of money promoting the hell out of these videos so they go super viral, you know, bringing in hundreds of millions of views and millions of new and not so regular people onto the platform, which is exactly what a good advert does. But for it to fully work successfully, which this one clearly hasn't, it has to please the current YouTube community so it gets more positive attention from newcomers. The fact that people are seeing it for the first time with knowledge that it is, or at least was about to become, the most disliked video of all time is not the best publicity for the advert. That's only this year. In the past, this is a method that's definitely worked. It's a clever concept to get a production crew together and rewind the year. I think the whole idea is to get people nostalgic over the last year, referencing all the big events that happened so people are like,
I understood that reference.
And I'm not saying for it to do well, they have to include every single big event that happened throughout the year. But when you include random stuff that I can half remember being a thing at some point during the year, people are going to complain about how couldn't you reference, I don't know, Infinity War. Arguably the biggest film this decade, maybe just behind The Force Awakens, was not referenced. How wasn't there a reference to Mr. Stark, I Don't Feel So Good, or Thanos' snap, at least? I'm seeing a lot of people trying to claim, oh, but Will Smith clicked his fingers at the start. That's not a reference. I think especially considering the recent passing of Stan Lee, and for the same reason I thought it might be appropriate for them to make a SpongeBob reference as a tribute to Steven Hillenburg. Like, maybe their deaths were too recent to be considered while in production of the video, but are you saying these two things aren't relevant in internet culture? Because what internet are you using? Another huge world event that happened this year was the World Cup, which they kind of referenced with the whole 2018 equals football section. But like, you got a bunch of people I don't recognize who have evidently hardly kicked a ball in their life to represent the biggest sporting tournament in the world without even mentioning the World Cup. This is a bad reference. You could have got a YouTuber who makes football videos, or just put the line "it's coming home" in there. Like, I know that's an English thing, but I feel like those words were trending for an entire month. And according to Google Trends, worldwide results, well, yeah, it speaks for itself. Maybe I'm grasping at straws, and the chances are these off-YouTube events probably wouldn't have changed anything to the people who watch YouTube and dislike the video. Meaning the only way to please this audience would be to include PewDiePie vs. T-Series, KSI vs. Logan Paul, Shane's docu-series is. These are the big three YouTube events that most people are referencing as the reason for the dislike. And you can see from YouTube's perspective, if they include these creators in events, they could receive backlash and risk losing ads, which it just isn't worth for them or the creators. YouTube promotes known racist creator in Rewind. YouTube promote guy who filmed a suicide victim. Guy who makes videos on controversial figures is promoted by YouTube, indirectly promoting these controversial I don't know why Shane wasn't included. I'm guessing he said no to them, to be honest. But here's the thing YouTube need to learn for the future. There's a huge difference between referencing something and promoting something. All these creators in the videos that they said it was starring in the description and put in the credits at the end are being directly promoted by YouTube, and therefore they can't do this with the controversial creators. But they could have easily referenced these creators and events without outright promoting them. For example, they could have had a reference to T-Series with a Bollywood sketch or something. This Rewind seemed to be all for having non-English speaking creators in there, and this was the biggest growing channel this year, so I don't see why it wasn't included. And just as everyone is starting to get mad, typing their hateful comment about how YouTube has taken their side against PewDiePie, Mr. Beast walks in and says, "Is this your game?" I don't know, reference something that was popular this year. It wouldn't be that hard to do. Which is indirectly referencing and supporting PewDiePie, but not promoting him. I'm sure there'd be a better way to do this as well. I thought of this on my own in like 3 minutes, so I'm pretty sure a team of writers could think of something. Also, referencing KSI vs. Logan Paul would have been the easiest thing to do without advertising the aforementioned creators. Literally just get a black guy and a white guy in a boxing ring throwing punches at each other. You don't have to show their faces, just don't film the actors' faces and edit appropriately. It doesn't promote the creators because you have to know who it's referencing to get the reference. And at the end of the day, they could even argue the whole thing was referencing Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, the biggest boxing match this year. A fight that was arranged back in August that they would have known was happening and could have easily used it as a scapegoat. The possibilities are limitless, and they could have easily referenced Shane Dawson or David Dobrik or any slightly more controversial creators who have killed it this year. Because as I said, there's a huge difference between promoting and referencing something, which is something YouTube need to learn, because you're not gonna please anyone by pretending their favorite YouTuber's achievements just didn't happen. And even if you don't want to promote and include them for understandable reasons, there's still a middle ground. And if you find that middle ground, you're still gonna get dislikes, just not as many. In other words, it's not going to become the most disliked video of all time on your platform in a week. But at the end of the day, I don't want to spend this entire video talking about how they could have shoehorned in references to people's favorite YouTubers, because that's not how I want to spend this video. The reality is, as I said earlier, this video isn't made for the current YouTube community. It's about new people they want to join the community by maybe subscribing to someone who is in this video. And I actually have a friend who fits into this exact target demographic. I don't think he's subscribed to many, if any, channels. Definitely none who watches on a regular basis, not even me. But he was aware of this Rewind video, and he even asked me about it because he knows what I do, and still doesn't watch me. He heard of the video because he'd seen the Will Smith "It's Rewind Time" meme that's been going around Twitter and Instagram and didn't understand what it meant, so went and watched the video. This is an example of the advert working. And YouTube hope, at least I believe, that they can get these newish people to subscribe to someone from the video and start watching YouTube videos more regularly. And for YouTubers like The Odd Ones Out or Jaden Animations, two of my favorite creators on the platform and probably put days into their animation work for this video, this work. Like, here's Jaden's sub growth per day before the Rewind: 4, 5, 6, 7,000, and it's been in the 20,000 since its release. But Jaden got a PewDiePie shout out. Yes, because of the rewind. And it's the same with the Odd Ones Out, who's also experiencing a massive growth in subscribers since the rewind's release. Well, that's the effect of an advert with hundreds of millions of views that you play a part in. But this is also the exact reason why leading the video with Will Smith is just another huge mistake. Like, yeah, I understand Will Smith does have a YouTube channel that he actually uploaded to quite a bit this year, but he isn't a YouTuber. He's known for his acting and his rapping. I don't know him for his rapping personally, but for that reason, no one watches the video and thinks, Will Smith, oh yeah, love his channel. This target demographic I keep going on about might not even realize he has a channel because it isn't mentioned in the video. So therefore, what are you achieving by giving him the main part? Give it to someone who's YouTube through and through, and when they inevitably get memed all over your rival social medias, people come back to them and therefore you. It seems like such an obvious thing, I don't understand how they can be oblivious to it. Like, even Lele Pons is better than this. From YouTube's perspective, I don't endorse Lele Pons. When it comes down to it, I can give YouTube all these tips on how to improve Rewind that they won't see. It's still gonna be hated next year. And yeah, you can make a better one, in my opinion, with the ideas I've suggested, but people are gonna go into it expecting to hate it, which is a similar problem to what I think is gonna happen to Star Wars Episode 9 next year. Which, interestingly, they're both coming out in December, so it's gonna be a weird month. And well, I think the best suggestion anyone can provide for you is just try something completely different for your advert next year. Don't make a YouTube Rewind 2019. Learn from your mistake this year and realize people don't want to see a YouTube Rewind anymore, and make something completely different. Again, I know they're not watching, so I don't know why I made this video, but I was interested in the whole situation, so I guess that's why I made this video. If you enjoyed this video and want me to make other videos like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel by clicking this card here, and watch another video by clicking this card, and then check out my merch by clicking this card, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because why not? I don't want to brag, but I have different ats on every social media, so I'm pretty hard to find. Bet you can't find me. Yeah, I think that reverse psychology will make people want to follow me.